Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Wednesday Facebook Live tutorial. So if you are joining me on Facebook, so make sure that you click on that link to allow StreamYard to see your name and to post questions, all right? Hi, my Instagrammers. Thank you for joining me. So if you are watching me on Instagram, today we actually have a presentation. We have a guest speaker, and he will be doing a share screen. So he will be sharing a PowerPoint presentation. So as you know, Instagram will not allow me to stream to you. So I have to come on live on Instagram. So you will not be able to see the interview. You can hear the interview, but you cannot see what is going on in terms of the presentation for the slide presentation, okay? So if you want to see the slide presentation, make sure you click the link in my bio so that you can join my Facebook group and you'll be able to watch the presentation live. If not, you can just listen because I will be asking questions on behalf of you if you post your questions, and then and you will be able to listen to the answers. So today's topic is about email marketing. Why is email marketing so important in your business? And today we have the pleasure of inviting Activecampaign, one of the leaders in the customer experience automation in this field for customers experience automation, what we call email software, but now for them it's more of a customer's experience automation. How can we incorporate that into our business? So for my YouTube subscribers, thank you for joining me. So you're able to watch me in full screen because I stream into you. So if you have questions, please write in the comments or also type in your questions because you're watching me live. I'll be able to read your questions as well. So we have Sharon on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. Carla, I'm sure that you're doing it undercover. Thank you for joining me. Christine. And who else is with me on Facebook? So we have Pamela Boston. Thank you for joining me, Pamela. So, of course, Christine is at both places. So we have Felicia. Thank you for joining me, Felicia. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you for joining me. I know you're actually on vacation right now. And please make sure that you click on the link that Christine has dropped, which is streamyard.com/Facebook, so I can see your name and also be able to address you. So hi, Shoshana. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Wilda, thank you for joining me on Instagram. So I know that we're just right off, so people are still coming in. Hi, Beverly, thank you for joining me. So today, for our paid members inside our mentorship program, we actually had a 1-hour session through Zoom with Activecampaign, which is the software that I was talking about that focus on customer experience automation. So we have them inside our paid members group the Monday that just passed to explain how we can use a system like that to help us automate a lot of our work, especially on the customer automation side and customer experience automation side, and how it can actually create more sales for us through the nurture process and through the ease of buying our products, all right? But through email. So you probably, if you have signed up for certain companies promo, you will see that you get emails from these companies, right? And then they have the button to say that, click on this button to enjoy a 20% off or a promo rate or something like that. And we as event planners don't think of it that way. We don't think that email marketing is a good way to use as part of our sales strategy. Those of you who attended my 5-day launch your event planning company workshop, I said that email marketing is one of the critical factors that you need to consider, and that's what I use as well to grow my business into a 6-figure profit company. So I'm going to share with you today. Again, we have a guest speaker, and I am going to share with you what from Activecampaign, how powerful that automation can do for your business. And I also will explain. Some of you. Last week, we had Honeybook to come and do the presentation, right? I will also explain exactly what's the difference between Honeybook, which is an all-in-one customer relationship software, as well as customer relationship management software, more focused on project management versus an email campaign. So I don't want to be rude and leave my guests in the backstage. So I'm going to invite my guests on and have them here. And then at the same time, I will do a bit of explanation before we dive into today's topic. Okay? Ooh, let's see who else is with me too. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for joining me. Oh, you're back in Florida. Okay, just a quick getaway, Yolanda. Hi, Dorothy. I can see your name. Thank you for clicking on StreamYard. Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Rena, Stephanie. Okay, so we have Chair Heaven Events from Instagram. So again, my Instagrammers, if you're joining me on Instagram, today we have a presentation, okay? So you can watch me here speak, and I will address your questions, and I will also say it out loud, some of the answers that the presenter is giving, because you can't see him and you can't see the PowerPoint presentation. So if you want to get the full experience, click on the link in my bio to join my free Facebook group so you can participate with me and enjoy the full experience. If not, just stay there, just stay on Instagram, and I will read the questions to you. Okay? All right. So, and I will read the answers to you. Hi, Veronica Privet. Hey, Claudia. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Stephanie Gibson. Thank you for joining me. All right. So let me bring on our guests. Okay. So right here.
Hey.
Hi, Shiv. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So Shiv, tell us a little bit about who you are, and tell us a little bit about your company and what you do for the company.
Yeah. So my name's Shiv. I've been with Activecampaign for quite a while now, over 4-ish years now. And I train a lot of our customers going city to city, showing them why customer experience automation is valuable and how to best use it specifically for their business. So I've worked with around tens of thousands of customers at this point. Now, Activecampaign specifically, it's a customer experience automation software, which sounds like a mouthful, but really it's all about thinking about what's the right message to send at the right time to the right person and the right medium. Right? Sometimes the right medium might be an email or a text message. Sometimes the right medium might be a phone call, and you might need to know that you need to pick up the phone and call somebody. So Activecampaign is trying to enable you on saying, hey, we need to send somebody an email at this point. We're going to automatically take care of that. Or we need to notify you that you need to call somebody, and we'll automatically notify you of that. But automation is really what's at the heart of Activecampaign.
Okay, fantastic. So before we let Shiv goes on to share what Activecampaign can do for you and what other platforms out there that is also what we call email campaign software, what's out there and what's the comparison between them, I want to highlight the main difference between, for those of you, right, we event planners use these 3 platforms, which are Honeybook, Our Planner, and Dubsado. So these 3 is what we call a more of a project management software, okay? We call it a CRM, a client relationship management software. Note the word client, all right? Note the word client here. So project management, client relationship management software. How is this any different from Activecampaign or any of these email automation software? What is the difference? When you are using Honeybook, okay, I'm just going to use Honeybooks, but it applies to Our Planner and it applies to Dubsado as well. When you use Honeybook, Dubsado, or Our Planner, okay, is when we automate a response when we have a potential lead who reach out to us, okay? So we are in a passive mode. We are not in a reactive mode. So we're in a passive mode. What do I mean by that? That means we don't use these CRMs, okay? This project management software, Honeybook, Dubsado, Our Planner, to reach out to our clients. A lot of times is we automate it in a way that we have an inquiry that comes in, and then we automate it to have a auto response to the inquiry. Remember what I said, right? You snooze, you lose. So you want to be able to automate the response to your lead, right? Your potential lead. So they know that you received their lead, and then you send them a questionnaire, right? So that's the automation. So it's not like we are sending them it's not like we are sending them a questionnaire even before they reach out to us. That's the difference, okay? When you use a project management software or a CRM, it's more on the automation once someone's reached out to you, and then you keep them on that software with all the automation, the questionnaire, the proposal, the contract, the payment. Okay, that's what we use. That's what we use for Honeybook, Outplanner, and Dubsado. Okay, now, and what Activecampaign is, or any other email software out there, is more on the outreach. So for instance, if you go to a networking event and you receive all those stacks of business cards, right? You have all those stacks of business cards, and you go to a trade show, and they fill out their questionnaire and stuff like that, right? Your potential clients fill out questionnaire. So you have all those business cards, you have all those leads, okay, that is not coming through you through email. So they, or any form of automation. So it's like in person. So you get all those information. What do you do? Okay, what do you do with those contact information? If you attend a virtual networking event or a virtual trade show, you get all those leads. What do you do with them? They're going to go somewhere, right? They're going to go somewhere. Okay, maybe you are so disciplined, you put them in your Gmail. Okay, you put them in your Gmail, your Yahoo, or your Hotmail. But you can't automate that. That's the problem. So what you're going to do, every time you have a promotion, you are going to manually have to send it to this batch of people. Okay, but don't forget, not everybody you meet is coming from the same place. So you have the trade show, different trade shows, different networking events. So you see, you can't use Honeybook, Dubsado, or Outplanner to do an outreach. You can after they become your client or they become your potential lead when they reach out to you. Whereas from a business standpoint, you have to constantly outreach to the people that you actually have some form of a contact information. And that's what Activecampaign or any of what we call email software out there can do. All right. So I'm not going to steal the limelight from Shiv. I'm going to let him take over, and I'm going to share the screen so that you can see his presentation right here. You know what? I'm going to do it big. So like that. So, okay, perfect.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and continue on there. So here's a couple questions that I'm sure are on your guys' mind. Just is Activecampaign, obviously we need to dive in and describe a little bit more on what it can do for you, but is it difficult to learn? Is it worth the financial cost? Can you afford that time investment? Obviously, what's the differentiation between a lot of these softwares like May was just talking about, between Honeybook, Planner, and Dubsado, but also maybe some of you might be using something like a Mailchimp or a Flowdesk. And ultimately, we want to answer the fundamental concept of, is this going to, I know a lot of you wear multiple hats, being a lot of solopreneurs, so is this going to add a hat or is it going to remove a hat? So definitely want to answer that. So here's kind of the fundamental concept of Activecampaign in a nutshell. This is a really good quote that I love. 75% of consumers are more likely to make a purchase from a company that knows their name and purchase history and makes recommendations aligned to their preferences. Now, this is a fundamental concept I like to apply to all types of businesses, specifically here for wedding planning and event planning, right? So it's about this idea of, it's not enough to provide customers with simply just a good, timely service, right? Customers expect content, conversations, and recommendations that are personalized to them and are relevant to the moment, as if you were friends having an ongoing conversation. And I think, most event planning companies know it's important to provide good service, relationship building, but, it surprises to people how high customer expectations are, and using an automation software will help you achieve that. And so here are those three principles that Activecampaign really helps solve for event planners, right? So I'm just going to start by saying CXA, again, that customer experience automation, it's different than marketing automation. It's different than CRM and customer relationship management and service tools, in the sense that it all works, cohesively together in one customer journey, right? It's all about figuring out who's, from somebody who's never heard of you before to your most loyal customer and everything in between. How do we iron out that journey, and what's the correct message across that journey depending on where somebody is, right? So people want to have one fluid conversation with you. They don't want an email from you talking about, please work with me, again, for the next event you have, when really they are, freaking out about the event they've already booked out with you, right? And they need messages that talk about, hey, let's go ahead and address your concerns. They expect you to know, what they need and based on the purchases they made and those personal preferences, right? So CXA is focused on that. The second thing that I want to talk about is that we're complete but not complex. So this means we're different than many of the solutions out there, which are, built for, I would say, enterprise, which can be bulky. We enable you to, use your best in class tool set and then layer over it, no matter what makes sense for your business specifically. And so, like May was alluding to, we can go ahead and do a lot of those project management capabilities with an Activecampaign. Or alternatively, if you feel a lot more comfortable using a Honeybook or using, say an aisle planner, then let's figure out a way to get Activecampaign to take care of the parts of the journey that Honeybook can't. And you can still have it integrate into Honeybook. So it's still a seamless automated journey across your platforms, right? We want to figure out what's best for you specifically, and we don't want to go ahead while we can replace, we want to go ahead and also make sure that you have the most comfortable tool stack for your business.
So let me just go back again. CXA means Customer Experience Automation. Okay, Vanessa?
Yeah, 100%. And that final pillar I just want to mention is that we're focusing on enabling you across all different channels, right? So email is incredibly important. Like May was saying, it's actually the highest ROI of almost any marketing channel, 1 to 35. So every $1 you spend, typically 35 in, ROI. But it's not just about email. It's about, again, when we think about right message, right time, right person, right medium, we want to figure out, across email, text message, on-site chat, Facebook Messenger, social media, like all, in-person events and making sure that you call people, email them one-on-one. We want to figure out across all those different elements, what is the right message, what's the right time, and what's the right medium, right? So we want to go ahead and leverage all of those. And again, automation at the heart of that is what's going to help you enable to do that. So let's talk about a couple of examples that we can use for event planners. May, just want to take a pause here actually really quickly. Is there anything that I need to clarify up to then about Activecampaign?
No, not yet. I will quote some examples later. I'll let you finish your presentation first.
Sounds good. So three, specific examples. These are just, starting points to get your gears turning about different ways you can use it. But certainly there's infinite possibilities. But a couple examples here. Number one, checking in with your vendors, right? It's getting close to your event. You want to make sure that you check in with some of your vendors to make sure there aren't any issues, before the event actually happens. And so you could use something, alongside of a date-based automation to say, hey, I'm working with May on, her wedding. And if it is 30 days out from her wedding, let me go ahead and automatically, right? This isn't something that you have to go in and type for every single vendor. Automatically, let's go ahead and notify all of, the vendors for May's wedding to say, hey, when are we good? Is everything in line? Is everything happening the way it should? If those people do or do not respond to that email, we can have additional automation from there to say, if they do respond, great, notify me to go and respond to that email. If they don't respond, remind me in 2-3 days to give them a call myself, right? Having that level of peace of mind to make sure that you have everything in order. And again, this is taking care of both the email side of things and the fact that you have to make a phone call to some of those vendors as well. Number two, I have automate your which leads you need to call and why, right? So, you want to, our integrations make it really, really easy to move contacts along your processes as soon as they sign their contracts, book meetings with you, when they pay, right? And so that way, who is pending, who has signed their contracts, who to communicate with accordingly. If somebody hasn't paid after 2 days, maybe you want to send them a reminder email to sign that invoice. If they haven't paid after 5 days, that might be, a notification for you to give them a call. And if somebody definitely paid, then maybe you want to automatically thank them, right? With some sort of email, with some sort of text message. The last one here, automatically follow up on anniversaries and birthdays. I don't have to tell you guys, event planning is absolutely a very relationship-based business, right? I used to be a wedding videographer myself and used to work with a lot of event planners and wedding planners. So I understand that space, that it's all about building relationships with those different, whether it's couples, whether it's for say a baby shower, for a birthday. And so being able to keep working with your clients, like May was saying, in a proactive way, in a way where you can get ahead of it, you can store important dates on your clients and then create automation to automatically reach out, with the medium that you want, whether it's email or text message, to let them know that you remember their birthday, you remember their anniversary, and offer to get started working on that next event so that, again, you can remain an important part in their lives. So automation really at the heart of this is what's enabling you to help do this. Now, I do want to address just a little bit of Activecampaign versus Mailchimp and Flowdesk. I have two slides for this. One side, for this is going to talk about things that Mailchimp and Flowdesk do that Activecampaign also does. But I'm going to talk about why Activecampaign might be the more powerful solution within these things. And then the next slide is going to talk about things that Mailchimp and Flowdesk don't do that Activecampaign does. So the first one here, contact management, right? This is all about if for any software, it's the goal is that you go ahead and use that software, and 2-3 years down the line, it's all about still being able to find the right customers that you want to go ahead and find in the software, right? If I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but for me, I've certainly used softwares in the past where I'll call it dirty data, right? Where 3 years down the line, when I'm trying to find all the different contacts in my system and I want to find 5 specific contacts, I'm spending more time searching for those contacts than I am actually sending emails out because it's so convoluted, it's so disorganized. Activecampaign is not that. Activecampaign makes it extremely easy for you to organize based on a lot of different pieces of data as opposed to Mailchimp and Flowdesk. And so it's going to be a lot easier when you're arranging by tags, lists, and custom fields. When you're arranging by different pieces of data, it's very easy to find exactly who you're looking for in a pinch. And so within minutes, you can find that grouping of people and you can focus more on sending those emails to your customers. Now, the other part of this as well is, for Mailchimp, they're more of what's called in the email marketing space a list-based system. A list-based system. So what that means is that if May is on the wedding planning list, but she's also on the birthday parties list, and she's also on the baby shower list, then she is going to be charged as 3 contacts for Mailchimp. And the way that a lot of email marketing softwares work, us included, for how we price is by the number of contacts, right? So if you're counting as 3 contacts, you're going to be increasing your price just because May has several different interests in working with you. For Activecampaign, it's simply a means of categorization. So that means that if May is on 3 different lists, if she has 10 different tags, if she has 100 different fields, doesn't matter. She's still 1 contact for you. So we're only going to pay for the fact that she exists, regardless of what her interests are. Now, the campaign designer, if you're using Mailchimp or Flowdesk, today, it's a very simple drag and drop email designer. So similar in that nature. If you're not using one of those 2 softwares today, it's going to be very visual for you to go ahead and build these emails. So there's going to be elements on the right side like text block or an image, and you simply drag it in, and you can visually see how you're building that email live as you go along. Right. So it's very easy to do that. Where I think we differentiate ourselves here is, again, we're all about personalization. We're all about getting that right message to each individual person. And so things like conditional content, for example, really help set us apart, where I can take one email and I can make that same email be viewed differently to everybody in this group. Right. If we have, a few hundred or a few thousand people, joining us today, I can send this email out to all of you right now, and I can have it all look different depending on what I know about each one of you, depending on the emails you've opened, the links you've clicked on in those emails, the pages you visited on my website. I can really fundamentally control what your experience looks like. And so that's a level of control and a level of power that, again, you're not going to be able to get through Mailchimp and Flowdesk. But secondarily, it's, again, the thought going through your head from what I said originally. That's all well and good that it's very powerful, but will it be easy to implement? Yes, that's what I mean when I say we're complex, but we're not simplistic. We're simple, but we're not simplistic, I'll say, right? So we want to make it very easy for you guys to set things like this up. Now, I want to go ahead and continue along and talk about a couple of the things that Activecampaign can do that Flowdesk and Mailchimp cannot do. So the number one at the heart of Activecampaign is going to be the idea of true automation, right? A true automation. So Mailchimp and Flowdesk both have the ability to go ahead and have some level of automation where they'll say, hey, if somebody, comes in and subscribes on a form, then let's send them an email and wait, and send them an email and wait. And that's a level of automation you can accomplish with ActiveCampaign, but you take it to the next level when we talk about adding things like, okay, did somebody accomplish or not accomplish the action that you want, right? Let's go ahead and make sure that we, decipher if we sent out an email, like I said earlier, to our vendors, did they or did they not respond to that email? If they did not respond to the email, let's go ahead and call them. If they did respond to the email, let's go ahead and manually follow up with them. We can go ahead and take a very sophisticated level of automation to understand, again, going back to the point I just said, what are those emails they're opening? What are the links in the email people are clicking on? What are the pages they're visiting? And let that fuel your automation strategy. Now, the secondary part of this is that CRM, that customer relationship management software. Customer relationship management. So this is where, ActiveCampaign can really help enable you to make those personal relationships better, right? And like May said, it's all about being proactive across all phases of your customer journey. So not just, while an event is happening, but we can create what we call a pipeline or a process. You can create that for pre-sales, right? When you're just meeting customers. You can make that for during an event. So you can go ahead and make sure you project management that event happening. You can make a pipeline for managing your process, post-event, right? After you've already had this event with people, and making sure that you can build a good referral system and a good system of reaching back out and creating great relationships with these, past clients. So it's all about creating this insane system of being able to be very, very particular about what each individual person needs and how you can go ahead and track that data. Last but not least, this is all about, if you are to join us, we want to be able to, hold your hand and walk you through all the different elements of how to make this work for your particular event planning or wedding planning company, right? So we want to go ahead and make sure that we have unparalleled support for you. And that's why we offer free one-on-ones, right? So I'm not just talking about, being able to chat in and talk to somebody, online. I'm talking about a level of being able to sit down with somebody over Zoom one-on-one and talk about your particular business and talk about how this, software can be best built for you. I'm talking about being able to go ahead and have access to, a plethora of free resources, through our education system of webinars and videos and guides, and having live support on those, webinars to say, what kind of questions do you have? How can this relate back to your business? We want to give you as many, tools as possible to make sure that not understanding the software is not a barrier for you to be successful. We want to hand you the tools to be successful here. So hopefully that gives you guys a good description here. There are many other features to explore that we just won't get a chance to talk about today, like the ability to set up that on-site chat and support and integrate your Facebook Messenger, like the ability to track which advertisements that people are clicking on and letting that fuel your strategy, like building native landing pages, or predictive sending is a really cool one where you can go ahead and track, for every single person in your entire system, when are they most likely to open an email, and then get an email automatically sent to them at their most likely time with a click of a button. So lots of really cool feature sets. But let's go ahead and take some questions here because I want to make sure that we understand the fundamentals of what we're talking about.
Okay, so I am going to remove this so we can see each other. I think one of the questions that come on is, I am new in the business. Is this a good time for me to implement? So I'm going to actually answer this question on behalf of you, Chef, if you don't mind.
No
because
worries.
these are my peeps, so I understand what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So let me explain to you how I use this software. Okay. So when I go to a trade show, for instance, a wedding trade show, for instance, okay, I receive a lot of leads. Okay, so I have potential brides who wants to book events with me, or I have a corporate trade show. I have potential corporate clients who want to book events with me. So all this, right? That pile of leads or the business cards. Okay, when I go to a networking event, I receive all those information. Where do I put them? I put them into Activecampaign. Okay, I created a database for them. So if let's say I meet you at this ABC trade show, so I will create a list of all the people I met at this ABC trade show. And if the people that I put in are, let's say, potential brides, okay, that who's brides who's going to potentially work with me. So I put down all this information, okay, regardless whether they fill out my questionnaire or not. So now they're in my ecosystem, all right? They're in my ecosystem. What do I mean by that? So I am able, so let's say if I collected 30 emails, okay, name and emails. So these 30 names and emails will go into this database inside Activecampaign that I create. So I will send out an email automatically within 24 hours after the trade show to these 30 people. And that email, I can actually design my own template with my brand, okay, my logo, with a call to action button, etc., etc. All right. So I'm able to craft an email even before the show ends. Okay, even before I started the show, I already crafted this email so that it will be sent out automatically once I load the database. So the email will say, "Thank you for visiting my booth. I'm sorry that I didn't get enough time to speak with you one-on-one. But, these are the information, I will love to be able to continue the chat with you. So let's schedule a time for us to speak." Okay. So I will have a generic email that I send it to everyone. Okay. If somebody respond to me, I have a yes and no path. Somebody respond to me, what is the next email that they're going to get? So I can also craft that email as well. So if nobody responds, that's okay. So they are in my ecosystem. So what do I mean by that? So now they are in my database, right? What is our role as event planners? There are people who buy now or buy later. This is to nurture them so that they will buy later from us. So what do? I know that they are brides, okay? I know that they're going to be planning their wedding. But if they are not ready to buy from me at that point of time, what do? Every week, I will send out an email to this database, and I will send out an email to nurture them, okay? Giving them tips on how to work on their wedding, how to do their wedding planning, or whatever is my objective for the email for that week. So I will automate it every week. So these people will be getting my emails every week. Remember what I taught. You always want to be at the forefront of the mind of your potential client, right? So I will always have a call to action button. So every time I send out that email every week, sharing something, it could be sharing a tip. It could be sharing a promotion that I say, I'm running a promotion right now that if you book by this date, then you will be able to get 50% off or 20% off. So click the button to schedule a call with me. So I use it almost like a banner, okay? Like my storefront that, hi, I'm having a promotion. So you can click here to buy, okay? Or click here to schedule a call with me. Or we don't have any clicking, just say that, just thinking of you, perhaps, these tips will help you. Or share a story of how you plan an event so that you build your know, like, trust, and buy factor. All right. That's how I use Activecampaign, keeping them in your ecosystem. Again, I have to stress, social media, we don't own them. I can have, how many members do I have? 2,800 members inside our free Facebook group. I have close to 700 over followers on my Instagram. We have close to about almost 100 subscribers, okay, for my YouTube channel, right, which we started just a couple of months ago. So, but I don't own all of them. If somehow Mark Zuckerberg decided to shut down my account, okay, Facebook decided to shut down my account, or Instagram, I lost everything. All right, I lost all my people. Okay, same thing. If Google decided to shut down my YouTube account, I'm done. But an email, I get to keep all these contacts. That's still the very safe way of communication. Okay, very, very safe way of communication. And some point along the line, I will ask for cell phone numbers, because with the cell phone numbers, I can automate text messages. Some of you, right, provided your cell phone numbers, you get a text message from me every Wednesday close to 12 o'clock to let you know that I'm coming on live. I use Activecampaign to do that. So that is a very powerful tool, but you got to know how to use it, okay? Now, Can Honeybook, Dubsado, and our planner do that? Not yet. They are more like, for instance, right? Give you another example. If the bride who's in my ecosystem love one of the emails that I sent to them, and they say, I want to schedule a call with you, boom, I link the Honeybook link where they can schedule a call with me onto Activecampaign. So when they click on that, it brings them into Honeybook, because now they become my potential lead, right? That I may be starting a project for them, or with them. So I put down the Honeybook link into my Activecampaign email. So they click on that, and then they go into Honeybook. So automatically they get the questionnaire already. Can I do it on Activecampaign? Yes, but I prefer Honeybook because I can put down all my vendors' information. I can link my vendors to that particular project. So they all have their own strengths, okay? But this is how I use it. So I link that scheduler button onto my Activecampaign, and then once they click on that, they go to my other ecosystem, which is Honeybook. So from there, I will start the questionnaire. But does that mean that they leave Activecampaign? No, they're still in my Activecampaign database. So they're still constantly nurtured by me. Okay. So now if I were to do her wedding, I know, and if she's pregnant, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a tag for her that, okay, I'm going to plan for her baby shower. So now she's not only going to get an email from me about how to plan a wedding, no more. I move her from the wedding to the pregnant mom group, okay? So now I'm automating another series of emails. So she's constantly in my little circle. So that's how this customer journey is from the very beginning, even before they reach out to me, I'm reaching out to them and I nurture them along the way, okay? All the way to maybe even their children, right? So you see, it's a whole process. So your job as an event planner, there's no way you can track all those business cards, all those database manually. Impossible. And one question that came up was, can I scan those business cards? Okay. And that goes into Activecampaign. Yes, you can. You can do that. And you know what's the beautiful thing about Activecampaign is they are very human-centric. So when you sign up for the free trial, okay, you got a sales rep who's going to call you. Like call, okay? Not just email, like literally pick up the phone to talk to you. They will call you and walk you through what is your goal when you sign up for this Activecampaign. What do you want to achieve? Because they also don't want to cloud their own database of people who sign up and don't use it, right? So they want to make sure that they are signing up clients who's able to take full advantage of this software. All right. So with your own sales rep, every sales rep has their own bags of tools and perks that they can offer to you. So I use Activecampaign, and I tell you, when they call me and then they tell me that, oh, we can do all this. I say, listen, I don't have time for that right now. Let me just stay on this plan. They say, okay, fine. Then after my trial period, they call me. They monitor my progress, what I have been using Activecampaign to do. So they said, you are growing so fast, you probably will want to consider doing this. So I didn't even think about the text message function until I realized that, you know what, that could be a great tool for me to keep my people more in the ecosystem in case my email crash, right? So I have a backup plan for a backup plan. So, in business, you always want to be able to have some way to be able to connect to your clients. Because one day there's no internet. What are we going to do? You pick up the phone. You start talking to people like how we used to do, your parents' generation. Okay? Not everything needs to be automated. Automated is great, but you want to always have a backup plan for a backup plan for a backup plan. We're event planners. We have plan A all the way to plan F, okay, for something, right? So with Activecampaign, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your thunder, but Shiv, but
no, this is good.
I said, I understand who they are thinking, what they're thinking. Like, when do I start using an email software? What do I use it for? How can I use it? Is it going to be a duplication to my current Honeybook software, or my Dubsado, or my Owl Planner? Is it going to be a duplication? So I want to explain the function. Okay.
Yeah.
And after, we will put on my affiliate link for Activecampaign. I do want you to know that like when you use my affiliate link to sign up for Activecampaign, right? So your sales rep will decide what you get, okay? And all the sales rep have the same tools that they can give to the people who sign up. But if you use my link, they know that you come from my group, and then they probably can dig deeper to see what they can offer you. And they do have a set of perks that they can give every quarter or every month, but they may dig deeper to see what they can give to you. I can't tell you what, because they constantly change their perks, but if you want, just use my link, and then you can decide what you want to, like what they do for you. Okay, so I hope I gave a good description of what Activecampaign can do. There's a lot more, but we don't have time. So Shiv, do you have any last words?
No, that's perfect. It was a great description. I think it reminds me of another question we got on, our first session that we did together, where people are saying, when I get started, I don't even have a website. Is it worth me investing into Activecampaign? And our answer was wholeheartedly yes, because of what you said, right? It's you own your email list. And once you have that, you need to get communicating with your customers and your prospects as soon as possible. So there's never a bad time, whether you're at the beginning of your journey as an event planner or you're a very, very experienced event planner. There's no bad time to invest into an email marketing and automation software.
Correct. So one big thing that Shiv mentioned that I forgot to mention, which is the website, right? Some of you asked me, I don't have a company website yet. Should I go into Honeybook? And I say that my suggestion is I would rather that you wait, because Honeybook has a capability to embed your template, your questionnaire onto your website. So you might want to wait for that. Okay, is it a must? No, but my suggestion as a coach, right, to teach you how to grow your business, I would say that you can actually wait once you do your website, and then we can incorporate Honeybook into your website. But Activecampaign is independent. It doesn't require anything to be attached to anything. Okay, so once you again go back to your networking event. You go to a vendor's networking event, you collect a lot of information. You collect a lot of business cards from your vendors. So now they're in your database of all vendors. So every time you have a promo, you can write an email to this database and say, hey, I have a promotion right now. If you refer me a lead, I can give you 10% off. Okay, or your potential client can get 20% off. Or you can say that, hey, we have moved, okay, to another office, or we have expanded. Now we have more offices coming close to you. Or you can communicate with them what you're doing. Say, hey, I will be at this trade show. We're expecting 30, 50,000 people. Who wants to collaborate with me for my booth? So we can first share the cost. Number one, promote each other's brand. So it's like one loudspeaker speaking to a group of people, okay? Instead of you go to each person individually, which is your Gmail, sending out 50,000 emails individually. No, it doesn't work like that, okay? So that's the advantage. Pamela, we will send you the link. Okay, I think I actually put the link inside our paid members group. So, but we will put the link on the chat. All right, after I get off. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Shiv, for coming on today. I thank you for your time. I think this presentation has been great. Again, as I mentioned, this will be stored inside our Facebook group, and new members can come on, or people who couldn't come on today will watch the replay, because we tag all our members, by the way. Okay, so everybody will remember to come and watch the replay. So do you have anything else you want to add before I put you backstage?
No, this was great. Thanks so much for having me today, May.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me just put you backstage. Okay, so I hope this has been a great presentation. Remember, our goal inside our Facebook group is to bring you the resources, okay, to help you start and grow your event planning company using the resources and the tools that's available to you. Do I have a preference for one platform to another platform to another platform? I will be very honest to tell you, right, that I use Activecampaign, so I don't use Mailchimp, I don't use Flowdesk, I don't use ConvertKit. So are they any more superior than Activecampaign? Yes or no? I cannot tell you. I can only tell you my own experience. Same thing with Outplanner and Dubsado, right? So I'm not saying that if you use other platform, it's not good. Just understand, when you decide to grow your business, you want to be able to use your time more on selling, okay? On selling, not on all this admin stuff, okay? Because these are not so much sales generating. These are more passive sales generating. You want to be using your time for active sales generating. All right. So remember that, okay? Those guest speakers that I bring on will give you an insight of what is available for us event planners to use. Get ready for April. We have a few more coming, and we have Dapsado who's going to come and do a presentation, and I probably will be getting our planner as well. So we have very, very juicy content. Don't forget to tune in live every Wednesday with us, 12 p.m. Eastern time zone. A lot of times I will be teaching certain topics. Sometimes I invite a guest speaker whom I think whatever they're offering will help you to start and grow your event planning company at the pace that you should be going, which is a rocket ship pace. All right. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Have a great Wednesday. I will see you next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern time zone. Bye, everyone.